Hello, hello, hello! How are we all? Excuse the hair, I'm not long out the shower. And not long out my bed, to be honest. Today I want to take you through a little historical tour of all of my statues. These statues I've collected over the years. Some of them are my backdrop, some of them are dotted around my house, limiting only to the historical ones and only to the statues, no posters or that, because if I took you through every single one of my knickknacks, we're going to be here all week. This is not sponsored in any way, shape or form, but I will give a shout out to the shops that I got the statues from, if I can. Some of them were gifts and some of them for wee charity shop finds, so I don't actually know where they're from. I've tried to put them in a rough chronological order from memory, but alas, I don't know if they're right. And to be honest, you probably don't care, it doesn't matter if they're not in the right order. First one out the gate was my wee Roman charioteer. As he says there, it says Rome, he's from Rome, and on the other side it says made in Italy. Bought this from a charity shop that I used to work in. About, oh Christ, 4 or 5 years ago now. Oh wow, that made me feel old. But that's around the time when I was doing classics in high school and my love for history, archaeology, classics, mythology and all that was starting to grow. But aye, he's a wee Roman charioteer with his 2 wee horses, his wee chariot, and a broken Ionic column in there as well. And I bought this guy in tandem with my big pharaoh head. He's made of metal. I think he looks quite a bit like King Tut's death mask, but I'm not quite sure if that's when it's actually modelled on. It doesn't say anything on it. I have no information about this whatsoever, but I'm just assuming that this and the charioteer were both like cheap holiday tat that somebody's bought. But I think he's very cool. He's very heavy. To be honest, you can knock somebody out with this. But I like cheap holiday tat. I like all this kind of stuff. At the most, I probably would have paid a couple quid for these, each of them. But I just think they're gorgeous. Both of them. Both of them are gorgeous. 2 completely different time periods. Anyway, next up is my little ibis. I got this guy from the National Museum of Scotland gift shop back when I was able to get in. That sounds really dodgy. But when I was actually in uni, I would take my break times between classes or whatever if I got there a bit early. I would walk around the museum and often have a wee spy at the gift shop because they had loads of little cute wee statues and that in there. The ibis is representative of Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom, writing, science and judgment. I can barely say his name because my accent will say Thoth, not Thoth, but you know, I'll get there. And he's the husband of Mat, goddess of judgment and order and balance and all that kind of stuff. Next up we have one of arguably the coolest things I have in my collection. We have my Megalodon tooth. This is from Mr. Wood's Fossils in the Grass Market, Edinburgh. A lovely wee shop filled with crystals and fossils and all kinds of stuff. And I've got the wee card still here from the shop which has the details on. It says shark tooth, Carcharicles megalodon, 5 to 15 million years old, from South Carolina. A megalodon is of course a massive shark. I absolutely love sharks. Jaws is my favourite film ever. I'm obsessed with them, yet also terrified of them at the same time. Obviously this is a small tooth. Sharks go through hundreds of teeth in their life. I would like to save up and get one of the huge megalodon teeth that are like this big, which they do have in Mr. Wood's Fossils, but they cost a good couple £100 and I'm not really feeling paying that much. I've not got that kind of money to spare at the moment. 5 to 15 million years old and I'm holding it in my hand. That is amazing. I'm trying to make this as much of a like whistle stop tour as I can, because if I stop for too long and chat about each of these proper in depth like I wish I could, we will be here all week. So if you would like to know about any of these things in more depth and more detail, please let me know and I will go into more detail in a video, but also not right now because I just want to show you everything all at once. Can I interest you in everything all the time? This wee section is what I'm going to call my Hadrian's Wall segment, right? I love the history and archaeology around Hadrian's Wall. I did a whole course on it. I did a whole video on religion at Hadrian's Wall, very early days on the channel if you'd like to go back and watch that. However, it is very cringy, or at least it is to me, because that was right at the start of my like channel building up. Yeah, I did a whole course on it, and my beloved Professor Jim took us on a trip down there. The whole class we went on a wee day trip down to Hadrian's Wall. And old Jim did a lot of excavation down there back in the day. I think he said the 80s, but I can't remember. But he used to excavate a lot of bits along the wall and the forts and stuff. So he knows what he's talking about, and he's very passionate about it, and I absolutely love Jim. Everybody loves Jim. Anyway, of course, I brought back many a souvenir. The very first thing I bought was, I almost dropped it, my wee Hadrian's Wall Hadrianic coin replica. This is a plastic fake replica coin from Chester's Roman Fort gift shop. On the obverse we of course have Hadrian's face. Who else? Like duh, it's going to be Hadrian. And on the reverse we have the Roman goddess Eternitas, who's the goddess of virtue and eternity and all that. And I hate to say it, but this tiny wee circle of plastic cost me £1 and I feel like a chump. But I paid for it and it's mine, and it is still a pretty cool little thing to have. At the same wee gift shop, I bought my little Roman centurion statue. I say statue because I saw him on the shelf, thought, wow, that's a really cool little bronze looking statue, I'm gonna buy it. And then I got back on the bus and my pal was like, Ryan, why did you buy a sharpener?
Huh?
I haven't used a pencil since high school maths. What? This guy is never gonna get to live out his true purpose as a sharpener, but he is a cool little statue and he does just sit on my bookshelf looking pretty cool. And now the main event, are you ready? The main Hadrian's Wall event. This is my rock from the Corbridge Roman fort. Corbridge Fort lies at one end of a road called the Stane Gate, which connects a couple of forts and runs parallel to Hadrian's Wall. The Stane Gate translates in Scots to the Stone Road. Stanes, stones, makes sense. And the Stane Gate is quite a gravelly road. And beloved Professor Jim was giving us a talk about what a certain building was, and I leaned down, tied my shoe, and copped a rock on the way back up. I'm so sorry, Jim. I apologise, but every single one of us did it. But just thinking, like, this could have been kicked along the road by a Roman soldier or a little like Roman child playing with it. There's so much history to this, and it's in my house and in my hand. This next guy is the first of my Etsy statues. So this is my little replica Artemisian bronze bust. He's from Greek sculpture on Etsy, and this wee guy is a replica of an actual statue called the Artemisian bronze, which was pulled out of the water at Cape Artemision off the coast of Euboea, I believe it is. But he's basically standing holding something that he's throwing like a javelin, right? But whatever he was holding has been lost in the sea. So archaeologists can't really tell who he's meant to be. There's a big debate on whether he is either Zeus or Poseidon, and that's what it actually says here, Zeus or Poseidon. 450 BC. Obviously, if he was Poseidon, he would be holding a trident to throw, and if he was Zeus, he'd be holding a lightning bolt. But we have neither of those things to actually tell us if it was Zeus or Poseidon. And the fact that he was pulled out the sea also makes people think it's Poseidon. They've also included this statue in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, if you've played it. Kind of dotted across the map as viewpoints. I'm more tempted to say it's Poseidon, more because I'm more drawn to Poseidon. As a little Pisces, I'm more drawn to Poseidon. After my Artemisian bronze arrived, I fell in love with Etsy statues, and swiftly, very swiftly, like 2 weeks after, I bought Tiche! This gorgeous lady is from Beautiful Greek Statue on Etsy. She's the Greek goddess of fortune and luck and chance and all that. Same as the Roman goddess Fortuna, that's her counterpart. And I just thought she was gorgeous. Absolutely thought she was gorgeous. I love the gold accents and the quite pastel pink peachy dress that she's got on. Contrary to popular belief, Greek statues were not plain white marble, they were actually painted, just the paint hasn't survived. The plain white statues look good as well, but I do like the ones that have a pop of colour to them because they are a wee bit more true to life. I just thought she was gorgeous, with her wee gold coins and her wee gold crown and her wee gold blindfold. This next one's another one from a gift shop on a uni trip. It's my wee green man. I got him at the gift shop of the Crannog Centre. My dearly beloved Crannog Centre, RIP, you absolute legend. The Crannog recently burnt down in an accident, and I think they're going to rebuild it, but they need to save up a lot of money to get it rebuilt. It came with a wee book here that I might read a bit to you from. He's kind of Celtic pagany, but also he could be older than that. He's a multicultural being, in a way, represented by a face made of foliage. Green men were often thought to represent underlying intelligence behind creation. The green man is an ancient symbol of renewal and rebirth. He's the pagan god of the forest, the provider for his people, whose image was later adopted by the Christian faith. While found in such diverse places as Brazil, India and Russia, he's most prevalent in the architecture of Western Europe, especially Britain, France, Italy and Germany, where his face adorns fountains, cathedrals and even pub signs. He is Dionysus and Okeanos, Bacchus and Cernunnos. I mean, Dionysus and Bacchus are the same person, but you know what I mean. So he's kind of a little bit of everything all of the time. Our next big guy is the Minotaur. This was a 21st birthday present from my pals, who I'm pretty sure this is also on Etsy. His horns broke off because of an accident with a drunken pal, but that's okay, because now he kind of looks like, spoiler alert, in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the Minotaur whose horn you take is the artifact. He was also holding the typical Labrys, as the Minotaur is known to have, but that got lost on the same drunken night out. So he is damaged this way because of my birthday. The Minotaur is half man, half bull, obviously. Kind of the stepson of King Minos, in a way. It was his wife who fornicated with a bull, and thus the Minotaur was born. And the Minotaur resided within the massive labyrinth which King Minos had built, and eventually he was slayed by Theseus. Again, the wee hints of colour and then the gold accents, I think that looks very pretty indeed. Hermes, you've probably seen him in the background, he's probably the most prominent one in the background. I don't know what you guys look at when you watch my videos, so Maybe it's Hermes, maybe it's not. Again, from Etsy, from a shop called Oinotropos. I might be saying that absolutely horrifically, I apologise. I love the style, obviously again the gold accents. Hermes was the messenger god who would dart about through the underworld, the middle world, and Mount Olympus. He's also the god of thieves, luck as well a little bit, trade and wealth and stuff. And he is another who is actually in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And he looks pretty much like this in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. If you play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you will meet Hermes, and you'll meet Poseidon, and you'll meet Juno, and you'll meet Hades and Persephone, and I'm sorry if that is a massive spoiler, but come on, by now you should have played it. So after Hermes, when I next went onto Etsy, there was a new trend in the statues that were coming out the shops, because obviously a lot of them use the same styles or the same shapes, but every so often a new trend comes out, and one shop was doing these absolutely beautiful, almost fully painted statues, and of course I got one. I got myself a lovely little Dionysus. This is from Marble Creations 82 on Etsy. He's a wee bit smaller than the rest, but he's much more colourful. Again, the gold details and the colours, I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. He's standing holding on to his little grapevine there. Obviously he's got the long robes on, which is a symbol of his androgyny. The usual for Dionysus, you know, gender roles do not apply to him. He's the god of leisure and wine and partying and revelry and all that good stuff. We're almost at the end now, lads. We've only got a couple more to go. This is my golden Nike of Samothrace. Circa 220 to 190 BC. You can't read that because it's black. This was a 22nd birthday gift from my BF Connor, and I absolutely love her because I think she looks like an award.
I'd like to also give a shout out to my fellow nominees, who will now and forever be known as the guys who lost to fucking Adam Sandler.
No. Nike is the goddess of victory, which is where Nike trainers got their name, but of course they pronounce it Nike, not Nike. And they spelled it wrong on the back of their trainers because they're idiots that don't even know their own origin and they don't even respect the history enough to check it up. Sorry, got a bit heated there, my own little rant coming out. This is another tiny replica of the actual Nike of Samothrace statue, which is in the Louvre. What actually makes Nike of Samothrace so special in terms of statues, more so than others arguably, is the fact that she is a 2nd century original Hellenistic statue. Most of the statues that we have are usually Roman copies, or they're pretty broken, and to actually have a Hellenistic surviving statue is absolutely brilliant, and that's what she is. And she's made of Parian marble, which is the really good stuff. And next up we have another Nike, exact same. This was gifted to me by my good pal Charlie, and he's got a big huge Nike. She's like this big, so he's gave me his wee one. His wee present. Thank you very much, Charlie. I'll take very good care of her for you. Nike of Samothrace as well, in the Louvre, she is plain white. Maybe she was painted back in the day, I don't actually know, but this looks much more like the original. Obviously she wasn't bright gold. I think Nike of Samothrace looks so elegant and gorgeous that she can get away with being pure white because she hasn't got a face to be detailed or anything. Last but not least is a statue that just arrived the other day, to be honest, because I just bought her, and oh my god, she is gorgeous. We have my Hera. I have been eyeing up this statue for so long, and I've just been waiting, saving up money and being like, no, I can't. Don't get it just now. And after graduating, I'm like, you know what, I deserve to buy myself something nice. So I bought myself Hera and a packet of V-Bucks for a fortnight. Again, she's got the golden accents, but this time she is painted black. And I love the black and gold for a change. She's from Statue Crafts on Etsy this time, but I just think she's gorgeous. She's got her staff, she's got her crown on this ionic column here. She's got her peacock, his wee head, he had a little golden mohawk but snapped off in the post. Queen of the gods, by the way. Married to Zeus, eternally mucked about by Zeus. And with Hera, that wraps up my very quick whistle stop, trying not to rant for too long statue tour. Thanks very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like any further information on any of the statues or where to go on Etsy if you want to buy yourself some, please just let me know and I'll send you in the right direction immediately. And let me know if you want to hear more about a certain statue or a certain god or a certain time that's maybe sprung to mind whilst I went through my statues. If you would be so kind as to look to your below, there's a subscribe button there if you fancy pressing it. You've made it all the way to the end of the video, so I think you might as well give it a wee try, you never know. Also the wee like button there if you fancy it. I'll also put links to all of my social media as per usual, as well as the shops that I got some of these things from if the shops are available in the description box below if you fancy having a look there. Sorry if that was a bit of a long one this week. I tried to keep it as brief as possible, but you know me, I get carried away when it comes to the history and archaeology of things. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next Tuesday, lads. Have a good one.